Here we go. Welcome to our third video for Unit 2. We are going to be talking about the endocrine system. This one's going to be much shorter because you've probably learned a lot about the endocrine system already, like through biology. And so we're just going to touch on some of the stuff that we focus on here in psychology. Okay, we only have one learning target here. It says discuss the effect of the endocrine system on behavior. So we're just going to look at the different parts and how they affect us. Okay, so what is the endocrine system? So it's the body's slow chemical communication system that works by releasing hormones into the bloodstream. So in our last video, we saw that the nervous system was quick and it's electrochemical. Well, we can notice some differences here already. The endocrine system is going to be slow and it's only chemical because we're going to be releasing hormones, and this is going to be in the bloodstream, which is different than messages traveling through your nerves. Now we're sending those hormones into the bloodstream. So under normal circumstances, when you're not stressed or in a difficult situation, the endocrine system is going to work with our parasympathetic nervous system to sustain homeostasis and normal functioning. So it's going to keep a lot of those things regulated. However, it is going to work with our sympathetic nervous system if you are in crisis or in a difficult situation. So let's look at some of the different parts on this diagram here. We have the hypothalamus. So this is going to be the brain region that controls the pituitary gland, which is right next to it. We're going to talk more about the hypothalamus in one of our brain videos. So the pituitary gland, this is like the big daddy of all the glands, right? So this is, it's going to secrete different hormones and it might affect some of your other glands. You have your thyroid gland, which is here in that throat area that affects your metabolism. Parathyroids, they work, that helps regulate levels of calcium in the blood. We have our adrenal gland. So this is where that hormone of adrenaline is produced. We have our pancreas that regulates your blood sugar. So type 1 diabetes that have issues with their pancreas, that's where that is located. And then we have our reproductive parts of the endocrine system, our ovaries and our testes. So those are some of the main parts of the endocrine system. So let's take our example that we talked about in the last video. You're at the gas station pumping gas. Someone comes up to you, puts a gun in your face and says, I'm going to shoot you if you don't give me all your money. Well, your endocrine system is going to do a couple things. It's going to help release that adrenaline into the bloodstream from those adrenal glands. So we talked about that a little bit in the last video, but this is going to help sustain your body's defense reaction to fight or flight. So when people say my adrenaline kicked in, it's from the endocrine system allowing that adrenaline to be released from the adrenal glands. Those two systems are going to work together. The endocrine system finishes what the nervous system starts. So the nervous system, like we said, increases heart rate. It increases our breathing. It inhibits digestion. It like gets the ball rolling, and then our endocrine system is going to release the hormones that are needed in that sympathetic nervous system. Like it's got to keep your heart pounding, keep your muscles tense, keep you ready for action. And then, like we said before, it's going to also then work with the parasympathetic nervous system to bring you back down to homeostasis. So the pituitary gland, like I said, it's the main one. It's the master gland of the endocrine system. So make sure you highlight this in a different color if you're taking notes, or if you're writing your notes, put a star around it, circle it, whatever. This is going to regulate the activity in all of the other glands in your endocrine system. And like I said before, it's under the control of your hypothalamus, and it sends out hormone signals to the other endocrine glands. So it's like the one in charge. It's sending out all the information to all the other different glands. You see that the pituitary gland is split in two. It's this purple and green section right there. They look like two little beans. Okay, your thyroid gland, this regulates metabolism, physical growth, development, and calcium rate. Like you saw on that other slide, you have two different parts to the thyroid. So one of them regulates metabolism, the other part is more calcium rate. So if you see someone with a thyroid issue, a lot of times They have a metabolic issue, so they're either gaining a lot of weight for no reason or losing a lot of weight for no reason, like it's not based on their eating and exercise. We also have our adrenal gland, so that's where the adrenaline is produced from. It regulates that fight or flight responses and also metabolism as well. So you see where your adrenaline glands are, and then you see where your kidneys are. So I guess if I only have one kidney, I only got one of those. Pancreas, this regulates blood sugar. So if you have type 1 diabetes or know someone with type 1 diabetes, they have an issue with their pancreas. It's not regulating their blood sugar correctly. And so that's why they have to take insulin to help with that. But the pancreas is part of your endocrine system. Then we have our gonads. So that helps regulate the fight or flight response with our metabolism as well. So let's talk about the difference between hormones and neurotransmitters. So hormones are slow, neurotransmitters are fast. And we saw that by the nervous system. It said it was a speedy system as opposed to the endocrine system, which is slow. So hormones are transmitted through the bloodstream very slowly, neurotransmitters very quickly. Length of influence. Hormones are going to last a lot longer. They're slower for transmission, but they last a lot longer, weeks, months. Neurotransmitters do not last as long. They're very short and brief. And then method of transmission, we talked about how hormones are released in the bloodstream, and then our neurotransmitters travel across that synaptic gap. So you want to make sure that you know the difference between hormones and neurotransmitters. Which one's slow, which one's fast, which one lasts a long time, which one doesn't, which one is transmitted through the blood versus which one is transmitted through the synaptic gap. Like I said, this video is going to be a lot shorter, so hopefully you enjoyed it. You took some good notes on the endocrine system, and your next video is going to be about the different parts of the brain, so stay tuned.